Banjarangar Padma Sadarda Ahom 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 Banjarangar Padma Sadarda Banzaranger Padma Sadarda Ahum 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 Banzaranger Padma Sadarda Banzaranger Padmasadarda Ahom 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 Banzaranger Padmasadarda ahum banjarangara padma sadarda 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 ahum banzarangara 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 Padma Sadarda Ahum Banjarangara 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 Padma Sadarda ahum banzarangara 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 padma sadarda ahum banjarangara 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 padma sadarda ahum Banzarangara Padma Sadarda Ahom 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 Banzarangara Padma Sadarda
Om Sambara Sambara Bhamana Saramaha Zambaba Hum Balazoha Om Sambara Sambara Bhamana Saramaha Zambaba Hum Balazoha Om Sambara Sambara Bhamana Saramaha Zambaba Hum Balazoha Om Natadanam Taram Janathan Japa Jashib Shokji Janab Jibaya Sarje Juda Gimdan Baba Zokan Lab Jagam Zalab Jagab Jashi Shodun Medialab Salatan Tundur Gon Shamba Janwala Gita Walatam Kan La Gomba Jajira Tagaba Janathan Bur Taram Hagalata Walatan Simchan Hamja Largon Tagaba Wala Yetsan 这花了点参咱们头边这些花了别了哇对吧了是个吧见了是个子了论讲花了人呢花的呢都是金子呢些人子花公布宣布花了啥也娘不这半能别子了南看娘不怕个这个跟的上不了都是把个了上班罗罗的人的这年嘛也是个他那那个那么这些花的金球上这不鲜花见了是个子了都人前的这个这个这些谁的娘都讲我们说也老干嘛了年这个东东喷出花的味们那不见了咱那黄见人可罗的人前的这个说见了见是个咱那这那说的见了我说讲的见的嘛个说我准备花了别了我这些他们见了是个咱了都苍白进步定中真没得不没当等等见了不也能可着中拍起不当مبزانم توجد تردیم کردو تان چشلا تام دون تون درجی جنم بوارل چرتین جم زدم زن ساسمنی ز گله چشی پیدن جیتن جو جلاب شغم زللوب دغ چغ تام درب شوا سنبالا غتانی ور سوا کن جنیم دو تن خالم پیل سمدن یب جنن جب چشیم دلغ پنسم صبر شنا كندا همي يبجلن شغل رر موجنا شاجل زينب زازو جيب جيب جلبي ملم ليب شومي كنم زان شد بچنن جي جير جي نامور نجايا يا نامو بنگا قواتين باندر سارا مردان تتنگا تيار هاتي زمنيق سمبدايا تريا ثاوم بانجير ماهم بانجير ماهاتين زمباندر ماهابايا باندر ماهابوتا زتان باندر ماهابوتا مانجو پاسون ترمانا باندر سروا كرما غورانا بشودانا باندر سوانا مورا نجايا يا نامو بنگا قواتين باندر سارا مردان Mahabandra Mahadinza Bandra Mahabaya Bandra Mahabuddha Satam Bandra Mahabuddha Mandra Basandrama Bandra Sarvakarma Warana Bishudana Bandra Swana Murana Jaya Namo Bhagavati Bandra Sarada Mardana Tatangataya Arahati Samyak Sampataya Tariata Banjir Banjir Mahabandra Mahadinza Bandra Mahabaya Bandra Mahabuddha Satam Bandra Mahabuddha Mandra Basandrama Bandra Sarvakarma Warana Bishudana Banjir Suhai Malisim Chanan Kananja Gonam Chirja Dalade Hom Jim Zadam Jum Zadalha Gonam Mali Chabjanam Chinan Jirapa Chamandanam Kuram Jin Indra Shalsay Zolay Datam Dolan Dim Zim Shir Nyala jizam charam thayena chidam chulaba dag jadaba te chadam chumandan jisay zoloy babam jam khala jonara kirpala sham zalay Nyala satangam shabji jitinana dizama shabamaya sangikan Dagi mali de datam jalala le tang yala tami shabja o zambul shirba mulama dagi jalwa tam jalaya jemun samanda janga dalanyala li rabanda bai jarva kalna rabda shamsalalo Daninya Sardi Nama Sardi Riji Winam Jipata Tetara Chujayana Malipa Tamjara Jaravata Kambarmo Tetagam Nagabama Zala Jamso Nama Yanji Allah Jamsu Dakananji Jarava Ganji Yundan Rabjada Jam Devara Shagapa Tamjada Dakiptud Meto Tamban Choa Tambata Sadanyana Namdam Jipa Dim Choda Marmim Choda de Putambaye, Jarava de Tagalanam Chuperja. Nam dang jim chog dam shi man par ma re de ben nyam ba dam ko de pa cha de par phag ban chog gen ji der va de da la nam cho per je cho ba ga nam bla mi le ja chi va de ta ga jar va tham chil la ya mo zang bo sho la ta la bu tu ta ke der va kan la sham sa dam cho per je do cha ga jer da te me wang gi na li ta ga ta de jen ye ji ja de pa da ke ji pan chim chi ba de ta tham jalab da ke so surup shak shok ji jarwa kan da sam ji ti rang je da nam dam lob da ro kan jem so nam kan la yan de ta kan je sab da ya ra kan nam shok ji ji tin dur ma nam shang je verim ber sang ji ma chab ni gombo te ta da ke tham chalala kholob lana mil pam kor verb kala nyangananda tuna kam jala te ta gala am du akal na pham jam de vabshir kalpa jang dal nyal ji parayam da ke thal morab jeram so verb je sham sata tam chu cham shag pa ta ji se ye ram kal jang sor va ye diwa chong zalab da ke chap sagapa tham chalab da kim shang chib shir sham janab ji pa sang ji chum dan di tham chada da sab chala ni ba shang chib sen hwa chim bu nam da lama dur jim zamba chim bu nam da lar gong sol shang chib nyam burum ji di war sang ji nam la chab zam che chu dam shang chib sen hwa ye so la de bi jana chab zam che shang chib nyam burum ji di war sang ji nam la chab zam che shang chib sen hwa ye so la de bi jana chab zam che shang chib nyam burum ji di war sang ji nam la chab zam che chu dam shang chib sen hwa ye so la de bi jana chab zam che tar unji de jim shang chib thi nam chib ba da shang chib sen huim la pa la de ram jana ni ba tar tib jana do la pan dun dam shang chib sim nam chib je jong tib jana da nam la pa la ram ba jan da la par je chatarang unji de jim shang chib thi nam chib ba da shang chib sen huim la pa la de ram jana ni ba tar tib jana do la pan dun dam shang chib sim nam chib je jong tib jana da nam la pa la ram ba jan da la par je chatarang unji de jim shang chib thi nam chib ba da shang chib sen huim la pa la de ram jana ni ba tar tib jana do la pan dun dam shang chib sim nam chib je jong da nam la pa la ram ba jan da la ba ra dan di dag sim di yu de me ye te ba la par thab tera sang ji research sang ji te sa ta cher to dan da ki chne ja ri tam tham ba le sam de chmalam sam ba rim da la nyok par man ger te tar sha long im shag tar pham bu li che tar rin chen nyal pa tar te jna che ji tar te ne shang che ba sim na da la chi da ki te ram che pa tham che da che shang ram ru ab de shang nyal da na war ta de lam jun du bu zan ji la da la man la so ga ga ver ji shang che ba sim cho ram bo che ma chi pa na ma je jer ji chi ba nyam ba me par yang ko ne ko da me ver sho shang che ba sim da mam jar jam shang che ba shum lam jar va ta sa de nam ji yong zom jam da je le nam pa ver sho shang che ba sim wa nam ji na ru tu nan thi la gong zhe ba sho gom bo yi na kar gom ba sim chen nam la dim jer sho sim chen tham chal de ta dan jer ji ngan ru tham chal da shang chib sen hwa gang da sarb ji ba Tetra Kanji Mulam Japare Shoy Mahosha Dechin Barba Wanga Bobjanda Beton Zuzuru Topa Shirka Achadip Dana Bamiram Jani Durjania Mana Chimbual Churkana Wamtai Durjijum Jitina Wamsi Jichazi Paramadir Bum Kundinga Wam Jiran after the Zana once in Hiraka Sama Yeshi Bandra Wara Dim Chandar Bajar Bob de Chenetir Mali Jirgi Elam Torip Chetaman Chotam Shagde Wamsi de Tonkar Wamsala Durje Wawandaki so Nantom Nyamba Chimbunga Nyanata Durje Kai Kartista Samayom Gamina Sungab Jadi Kamsamgi Wazara Marabum Kundi Ola Chabaji Tamchaleo Shada Peripsit Durje Chagba Chimbu Tijina Namni Hamudrum Durgim Chokoloja Durje Chagba Chimbu Not to the Deva Chimburdum Shilepa Tai Jim to the Javaro Karachan and Durje Kom Webshi Websim Zipa Ramjim Sasamawangal Hatsola Gibis Ram Dipsub Shinjilo Chotan Mudrum Durgim Pantata Tomini Wandab Shirbu Solo Oma Honsha Deshin Barava Wanga Bob Janda Deton Sosuru Topa Yeshirka Machadip Dana Pamiram Jani Durjinia Mana Wachimbu Churkana Wam Tai Durji Chum Jitina Wamsi Tiji Chazi Paramadirabum Kondinga Wam Diran after the no once in Heraka Bandaragada Dem Chondo Pajarapu de Chinetir Mani Jirgi Em Tori Shetamam Chotam Shagde Wamsi de Tonkar Wamzala Durji Wawandaki so Nantom Nyamba Chimbunga Nyanata Durji Kai Garjita Samayom Gamina Sungab Jadin Kamsamgi Wazara Marpum Kundi Ola Chabaji Tamchadayo Shanda Parashit Durji Chakba Chimbu Tijina Namni Hamudrum Durgim Chotoloja Durji Chakban Chimbu and after the Deva Chimburudum Shiraba Tai Jim to the Javaro Karajan Durji Konwashi Webjim Zip Ramjim Sasama Wangal Hadzola Gibis Ruam Dip Subshinjilo Chotanamudrum Durgim Quanta Tomila Wanda Shirbu Zoloma Honsha Dechin Barava Wanga Bobjanda Beton Suzuru Topa Yeshirka Machadip Dana Miram Jani Durjinia Mana Wachimbuan Churkana Wamtai Durjijum Jitina Wamsi Tiji Chazi Paramadirabum Kondinga Wam Diran after the Zana once in Hiraka Sama Yeshim Bandara Dim Chandar Bajarabov de Chenetir Mali Jirgi Em Torip Shedama Chotam Jagde Wamsi de Tonkar Wamzana Durji Wawandaki so Nantom Nyamba Chimbunga Nyanata Durji Kai Garchita Samayom Gamela Sungab Jadin Kamsamgi Wazara Marpum Kundi Ola Chabaji Tamchadayo Shanda Peripsit Durji Chagba Chimbu Tijina Nani Hamudrum Durgim Chotoloja Durji Chagba Chimbu and after the Deva Chimburdum Shirapa Tarji Konvashi Vajim Jigpa Ramjim Sasama Wangal Hatsola Kipi Zurvam Dip Subshinjilo Chotana Hudrum Durgim Quanta Tomila Wandab Shilpa Hudru Ordina Yergin of Shantam Palama Kesar Dombola Yamsanam Chaka Mudrivni Palama Johnny Jesus Chakam Kurtan Quandru Mambo Kur Chilichi Jesus Dagdriv Shinji Lobshir Shakhs Gara Palama Sada Hoy Jadabangaram Sam Jadam Dabarin Chimbo Jad Shansam New Jadada Dipsing Gabdella Zolam Zorvam Dipsub Shinjelo Bishana Sami Varchazolo Zambayab Jindabada Chodan Tamang Dribzolo Jadabangaram Sam Jadam Dabarin Chimbo Jada Shansam New Jad Dipsing Gabdella Zolam Zorvam Dipsub Shinjelo Bishana Sami Varchaz Zambayab Jindabadam Chodan Tamang Dribzolo Jadabangaram Sam Jadam Dabarin Chimbo Jada Shansam New Jad Dipsing Gabdella Zolam Zorvam Dipsub Shinjelo Bishana Sami Varchaz The Padam Chodan Tamang Dribzolo Jadabangaram Sam Jada Dabarin Chimbo Jada Shansam New Jada Dipsing Gabdella Zol Zorvam Dipsub Shinjelo Bishana Sami Varchaz Zambayab Jindabadam Chodan Tamang Dribzolo Jadabangaram Sam Jadam Dabarin Chimbo Jada Shansam New Jada Dipsing Gabdella Zolam Zorvam Dipsub Shinjelo Bishana Sami Varchaz Zambayab Jindabadam Chodan Tamang Dribzolo Jadabangaram Sam 上什么你们别别的，这苹果别拉走了，昨晚对不星期六不是那上面玩车子，三百也不是这白当，超当他们我知不知道这半个人参加当，这白人间情不别的，上什么你们别别的，这苹果别拉走了，昨晚对不星期六不是那上面玩车子，三百也不是这白当，超当他们我知不知道这半个人参加当，这白人间情不别的，上什么你们别别的，这苹果别拉走了，昨晚对不星期六不是那上面玩车子，三百也不是这白当，超当他们我知不知道。天南都是讲，所罗门大本听，大是我讲的你不sab是我是，那当个的碰他不是的是我当，去当这心陪了我的，咱了都说了，见面了当半年了当点钟个闹，这个面了总局见面吃了，让的那南客人吃真的演出会，人前的唱着把人家大晚上。что бы сумели сейчас ангина сердцем дагжен санда хуйпшелдан чугу самсуну дурди телетром жив жигае санун вшигдя дагтянша шигайон ням жигб дерсил хомзалана ма сердер таразв дела хван барава Если возра джави кваян чабни вжив джадан ифтанам чаджинсо Yam sum kurji yom kurjan jamba samji chim thani de nam chadav devam chqa wal sulwa jab ganam dibam dagnil chimbur sal nyamji chimbu sodani mi jam zone molman chimbu ngabjatab parkara taram ngam tu shirmar dagoi tumba de ji janlam shigam salalo dagjana goxam ge Olom şulum ji kanam zam çürüp çende menim bana Tağmelen sağı dik tomali banyanim jürüp çağ bu sosurum şıg Pagdan sosur ji orgi wan tiksım sağla ji sayrango Zabja jachin çujin kurlu salıp şıgıp jır yanımam çalıparım kurtaq sol Çönanam karştavi yeşir kı tiksımım pomgirimi parıp jigmolaji Dabjen angor chenji salatun ja jırpı zırkı tağtan avarım zod Daki tesam sağpa git sojim kajavandu akanla Pandalat Chuji Jalabu Dagparam Nipshala Jan Chuji Jalava Kompang Toparasho Dagjaga Mim Doam Gomilanama Tiji Dagparav Zonva Patanandi Janda Dendera Renchana Samanja Nawam Chanyala Jejin Chaninyala Pepsara Jam Chok Somi the Chipper Yilchi Darpir Nyani Solan Devana Ông kia tam cha chín bu mam nhân var sang cha var tân thi ji jin zanam zodam zanam jarbada zali bas chen ji stom bas kle ye shin ji wazara na zogba na am chim bu dag dang sim chen tham cha ji raba tham cha lab sar jan thak ba chim bu lam je yon dan chalab jan de ji di shar mar dog ba sanam bar sam lam stom ba chum dan Dev Shakbada Jumbaya Dapar Sanji Warjava Sojata Balam Shagim Salam Chudur Jepsum Shawam Lam Tibjan Shakbada Jumbaya Dapar Sanji Warjava Shakjata Balam Shagim Salam Chudur Jepsum Shawam Lam Stumba Jumdandi Tibjan Shakbada Jumbaya Dapar Sanji Warjava Shakjata Balam Shagim Salam Chudur Jepsum Shawam Lam Stumba Jumdandi Tibjan Shakbada Jumbaya Dapar Sanji Warjava Shakjata Balam Shagim Salam Chudur Jepsum Shawam Lam Stumba Jumdandi Tibjan Shakbada Jumbaya Dapar Sanji Warjava Shakjata Balam Shagim Salam Chudur Jepsum Shawam Lam Stumba Jumdandi Tibjan Shakbada Jumbaya Dapar Sanji Warjava Shakjata Balam Shagim Salam Chudur Jepsum Shawam Lam Stumba Jumdandi Tibjan Shakbada Jumbaya Dapar Sanji Warjava Shakjata Balam Shagim Salam Chudur Jepsum Shawam Tare do mani mani mahamanai zo tare do mani mani mahamanai zo tare do mani mani mahamanai zo Tareto mani mani mahamana iso 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 ha mani mani mahamana iso mani mani mahamana iso mani mani mahamana iso mani 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 mahamana iso mani mani mahamana iso mani mani mahamana iso Mani mani mahamana soha devara shakpa chirka chamra tam kurda gazin sata shankamata charjem sam chagab zambu chandra tendra konrab dagso jirvara sho nami sarvata thangata bayom bakho makambe sarvata khangati saparana mangangana gaso hai jem dotan kandam dam lam thochi rizam bami jem jada sanchin jal norav dandala kwadar bhonyerim jem solom chato samdal hantravanzur jem dotan kandam dam lam thochi rizam bami jem jada sanchin jal norav dandala kwadar bhonyerim jem solom chato samdal hantravanzur jem dotan kandam dam lam thochi rizam bami jem jada sanchin jal norav dandala kwadar bhonyerim jem solom chato samdal hantravanzur Kandav Samo Yeshi Rubesal Yanji Jaramo Yeshini Dam Jitin Mamo Solom Shotum Churmim Chanim Zul Hon Kandav Samo Yeshi Rubesal Yanji Jaramo Ekanza Jama Yeshini Dam Jitin Mamo Solom Shotum Churmim Chanim Zul Hon Kandav Samo Yeshi Rubesal Yanji Jaramo Ekanza Jama Yeshini Dam Jitin Mamo Solom Shotum Churmim Chanim Zul Trong trong chém chi chém bù ra là Trật bà nằm chì ra đông mầm chà chà ta Giá ta chì kà ra trọc bà tiếp chì nằm chìm Sô lom chà tâm chà mìm chà nìm zà Sơ trong trong chém chi chém bù ra là Trật bà nằm chì ra đông mầm chà chà ta Giá ta chì kà ra trọc bà tiếp chì nằm chìm Sô lom chà tâm chà mìm chà nìm zà Sơ trong trong chém chi chém bù ra là Trật bà nằm chì ra đông mầm chà chà ta Giá ta chì kà ra trọc bà tiếp chì nằm chìm Sô lom chà tâm chà mìm chà nìm zà Tam chana chewa chambu te nimsa Yidin tamam zangam po nitso Kapchara samgya chikchi tsokdam chim Solom chatam charmim chanim zut Hoin tam chana chewa chambu te nimsa Yidin tamam zangam po nitso Kapchara samgya chikchi tsokdam chim Solom chatam charmim chanim zut Hoin tam chana chewa chambu te nimsa Yidin tamam zangam po nitso Kapchara samgya chikchi tsokdam chim Solom chatam charmim chanim zut Bama Honga Quanyan Tochi Yaboyan Lee Where the Marbo Quakum Jabam James Solom Jotam Janum Janim Zut Shabama Honga Quanyan Tochi Chips and Rabba Yaboyan Lee Where the Marbo Quakum Jabam Solom Jotam Janum Janim Zut Shabama Honga Quanyan Tochi Chips and Rabba Yaboyan Lee Where the Marbo Quakum Jabam James Solom Jotam Janum Chanim Zut Yalla Tamba Zamji Jam Dodbang or Devaran Zalapay Churjon Yevjana Norva Janam Jib Daga Zamdo Mali Nyaran Jabam Zodam Kurdi Chukana Kadari Banga Randam Gagayashi Ordangelo Oh, what the Namjambu Durjila Namba Jebji Yevjin Norvanyala Karaksalam Zimzama Bandra Daya Chin Chum Jilab Shadi Ralaja Devamanam Javni Jeladron, what is it? Midam Cho Rana and the Jend Lama Mira Salai. General Sterni Jankama Sanjama Walati Jefshan Leb Yedalashman ji me de pen so ja ba la so lo ra wa de mer gom je de to ba pu ba ra shen ti lo ba ni chin ra wo ser ni jang kam san jam hua len ti je shan le ye de la man ji mi de ban zoi ja ba la so lo ra wa dim ber gom je der to ban pu bar shen ji lo ba ni chin ra wo ser ni jang kam san jam hua le ti je shan le ye de la man ji mi de ban zoi ja ba la so lo ra wa de mer gom je der to ban pu var shen ji lo bam dhar nam lam ol ngi thi ler cher rang shwa ni ji nya win tham jal kan ye shi jim dim lam da kanawam nyam bum shen lam thob parasam chi va kan ta yang tam la ma tam je me le ju je hua la no je de ja sa da lam je yun den rab zo ni dur jim chang ga gom ba nye ra tho ba jo chum dan ding gom bom jam ho la ga yang shagem zan la lo kang ga lo ju jim ye cham ta ra ne ta ra nam ta rab sa da vi Chanyala dungana jab jam zib shiranyal ye dikkara lawan zan Kauntaga jab zonjara mare mantana dingala chizarava Rutsuga kanla vab chib tarzi yalla chichi ayantana som Diktaran chitrugum nyammo nyalhon li chi chukchuk dum zadacha Mare mam zadadim ngada nyaka chim nyala chum zadarachana Dunni takachang sab chim tharsuna yunda Lizuga jachi thavushka Chachagab chadam chanyi janchib dagablu mam salam jam khala gayanlam Dada umara bazanada umara bazanada Umara bazanada umara bazanada umara bazanada Umara patanada, 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 Sedanan jelgim jerab olazarajib dagum lushtami mambarab salani Gadam dam ju jong li to ba ye lo ju bo ba na wa jian de so lo.
After class chanting, I would require those of you who are attending this class at the shrine hall to stay after class. I have a few announcements to make. So after the chanting of dedication, and only for people from in Larungar. The unsurpassed Dharma is very difficult to hear, and since now I have the opportunity to listen to it, I pray that I would be able to understand the Tathagata's true meaning. And in order to benefit all sentient beings, let's give rise to the Supreme Bodhicitta. So today let's study the Shurangama Sutra again. Right now we're at a place where the Buddha and Ananda are conversing, and this part is the 7 attempts of searching for the mind. In fact, Shurangama Sutra, especially this part, the 7 attempts of searching for the mind, is very much taken seriously by the great masters. I know lots of commentaries, in fact, are quite short, and they feel that probably short commentaries are sufficient. As we talked earlier, in our previous class, we've already talked about how the mind is not within, and the second attempt is that the mind is not outside. So you can't find mind inside your body, you can't find mind outside of your body. So let's continue to search for the mind. While we're studying the Shurangama Sutra, I think the Chinese translation is really beautiful. However, the punctuation and the paragraphs are rather different, because in the ancient transcripts, the Chinese translations doesn't have any punctuations or paragraphs. I myself didn't really have enough time to go over it very thoroughly in terms of the punctuation and paragraphs. However, I consider myself as being very responsible, and I've read through lots of commentaries and distinguished lots of the differences among different commentaries. I also read into the Tibetan version of translation, which are rather quite simple to understand. The Tibetan translation is really beautiful as well. On top of the literary translation of Tibetan language, the meaning of the Tibetan translation is very easy to understand as well. According to Qianlong Emperor's prologue before the translation, he stated that the 4 languages should be included for all the translations of sutras, including Manchurian and Mongolian, the Chinese, as well as Tibetan. So that's written by the Qianlong Emperor in the prologue of the translation. And inside that prologue, he said that in the Chinese Tripitaka, the Shurangama Sutra is translated into Tibetan from Chinese language, which he read that Master Bhutan made a prediction 500 years ago, where he said that the Shurangama Sutra will be translated back into Tibetan language after 500 years, which is exactly at the time of Qianlong Emperor. And then Master Jiang Jia, who was the country's Buddhism guidance at the time, in fact, then made the translation. Also, the Shurangama Sutra was translated into Manchurian, Mongolia, and Tibetan language. And Qianlong Emperor's guidance to Master Jiang Jia was that it is the best to translate the sutra as it is, and you don't really have to. And he advised that the translators should not then use unnecessary beautiful language, and it is just like how you should provide food for people who are hungry and provide drinks for people who are thirsty, rather than trying to flowery the unnecessary. Therefore, that's the guideline for the translation. And if the translation could be easy to understand as well as easy to read, then that would be of great benefit to the sentient beings. I feel that the Qianlong Emperor is a great emperor. He became an emperor and started ruling the country at the age of 25, and he stepped down the throne at the age of 85 and passed down the throne to his heir. And during the 60 years of his reign, he supported Buddhism quite greatly and protected the teachings of the Dharma. So the Dharma was in fact quite prosperous during that time. And he then also, his way of translation or his inspiration actually came from his grandfather, who was the emperor of Kangxi. And he knew that his grandfather, in fact, translated the Heart Sutra into 3 different languages, so 4 languages in total. Therefore, he was really inspired, and he made the decision of translate the sutras into 4 languages as well, to include all the sutras in 4 languages. I think the propagation of the Dharma, in fact, matters quite. Have great influence because of the different reigns under different emperors, such as Emperor Kangxi, Master Yongzheng, Master Qianlong. And not only these emperors would protect the Mahayana teaching, they also themselves are great practitioners. So from the historical aspect, from the historical point of view, if the emperor would very much prioritize Buddhism and Buddhism practice, then the emperors would gain great benefit from the Dharma by bringing peace and prosperity to the society, as well as propagating the Dharma to the society that would also benefit the citizens in their country. So let's continue with today's teaching. Previously, we've already understood that, in fact, mind is not within or outside of the body at all. And now Ananda started to ask the question, is it in the middle then? So Ananda then said that, well, world honored one, as you have said, in my mind does not see that see what is in my body. It is not within it. And if my body and mind knew each other, they are not separate. And my mind. And my mind is therefore not outside of my body, because Ananda is the attendant of the Buddha. So Ananda is very good at posing questions to the Buddha. So he asked them step by step. In some of the commentaries, it says that Ananda was very confident at the beginning when he posed the questions. And later on, after getting refuted by the Buddha, he got a little bit self-doubt and he's not as confident as he used to be. The Buddha's refutation, in fact, caused him to get tired, or rather lost lots of confidence. We can see through the way that Ananda posed questions. But I think Ananda is probably not that fragile or that weak when it comes to refutations from the Buddha. I personally feel that Ananda, after getting refuted by the Buddha, he probably feels great joy. Unlike how mundane beings in our world would feel quite rejected. They probably won't be able to ask questions again as mundane beings, but Ananda is completely different. Of course, through the historical aspect, Ananda had not attained arhathood at that time. He attained arhathood after the parinirvana of the Buddha. So over here it says that the mind is not inside the body and not outside of the body. And then he said that after thinking about this, I know where my mind is. If the mind is inside the body, then the mind should clearly know what's going on inside all the organs or inside the body, should be able to illuminate everything inside the body. So it's not inside the body. That is then stated previously. In fact, body and mind have such kind of a relationship where the mind knows what's going on with the body, and also the body is connected to the mind. But if the mind is outside of the body, then they're separate. Just like how there are then two consciousness or two mind streams, just like two arhats. That if one arhat were to get full and the other arhat won't get full because of the other arhat got full. Therefore, it cannot be separated, because if the mind is outside the body, then they're separate. They're no longer connected. So for that reason, through such kind of analysis, mind is not outside of the body. Ananda, in fact, is very smart, and right away he knows, oh, I know. The mind is not inside, and it is not outside. I know it very clearly. But now, let me think about it. So Ananda is very good at posing questions, and he's very extensive when it comes to knowledge. Unlike young disciples, unlike young students, whenever they hear different kind of teachings from the teachers, they are very limited in their creativity, and they don't really have a critical thinking where they can pose different questions than what the teachers taught them. If the teacher were to ask the student a different question, then the students are not able to answer it. Rather than that kind of, in fact, compared to that kind of student, Ananda is very different. And I think it's quite important to be able to expand our way of thinking. On one hand, it's very important to listen to the teacher's teaching and be able to then repeat what the teacher taught. On the other hand, it's quite important to expand your thinking to then think of different ways of explaining it so that it will call for creativity to further explain the content. So you need both of these kind of abilities. He said, okay, lasso. Lasso means yes. There are people who are too obedient, and they would say, okay. I think if Ananda is like that, then the Buddha won't be able to give that much of the teachings. In a different province, they pronounce it differently. And according to Lhasa-ke, they sound very different too. From Kham area and from Lhasa area, the expressions people use when it comes to say okay is very different too. So Ananda did not follow obediently. He didn't say okay. He in fact continued to ask, saying that now after thinking about it, I know where my mind is. I know it's not inside, it's not outside. I know my mistake. It must be somewhere else. And then the Buddha asked him, so where is it then? And then Ananda replied, since my knowing mind does not see what is in my body, but it can see things outside, I think it is hidden in my sense organ. It must be hiding in my physical faculty. In the Tibetan translation, in fact, when it comes to a description of the mind, it then describes the mind as luminous and clear knowing. So this kind of knowing mind, this kind of mind that is clearly knowing, does not see the organs that's inside the body, so it doesn't know what's going on inside the body. But at the same time, it could see things outside. It doesn't see anything in the body, but it can see things outside. Just as when the Buddha used his soft and gentle hand, then when the eyes see it, his mind then make the discernment and such kind of thought that it's such a beautiful and gentle hand. So such kind of discernment is made at the time when the eye sees. Therefore, Ananda came to his conclusion saying that I think it's hidden in my sense organs. So he thinks that the mind is not outside, it's not inside, but it must be hidden in the sense organ. And then he gives the example, saying that, for example, if one covers one's eye with a crystal ball, the latter does not obstruct the sense organ, which simply follows the faculty of seeing to distinguish all things seen. Just as a crystal ball that covers one's sense organ, that is the eye, but the crystal ball does not obstruct the eye's capacity of seeing. So he thought that the mind must be hidden in the eye. Over here, it says a crystal ball. In some translation, in some commentaries, it says that it is a bowl that is made of crystal. Sometimes it is translated as a cup that is made of crystal. But over here, the Chinese translation, in fact, the word means a thin layer of plate. So a crystal plate. Then there are glasses, and there are the eyeglasses that we wear nowadays. So sometimes the crystals at that time, it could be the colored crystals of the different colored shades that we would wear nowadays. It's a similar kind of function. Master Oyi, in fact, in his commentary, he said that they are just crystal-made eyeglasses. At that time, there's no glasses yet. Therefore, the glass plates are made of crystals. Maybe there are different kinds of colors, tinted colors of the crystals. So when you wear different shades of crystal plates, in fact, this crystal plate would cover on top of your eyes. So something solid covers the eye organ. But the eye could still see through the crystal, the transparent crystal, and see the mountains and everything outside. So at that time, you still be able to see all the phenomena outside. And then at that same time, you can still make the discernment that, oh, this is blue, that is green, this is mountain, that is a person. You can still make such kind of discernment. When your eyes see, discernment would happen at the same time. So your eyes see and mind discerns. Thus, if my knowing mind does not see what is in my body, it is because it's in the sense organ. Because mind resides in my sense organ, it is not inside the body, but it resides in my eye organ. So it cannot see what's inside the body. And if it sees clearly what's outside without being obstructed, it is because it is hidden in that organ. In fact, this kind of way of explaining, this way is very similar to the ones of the schools where they would hold on to particles, hold on to the solid existence. There are people who really rely on the glasses. If they were to take off the glasses, they can't see anything at all. Maybe they become someone else. They would blink all the time. Maybe because of the maybe because of they're so used to the glasses. And nowadays, people would even give the cats and dogs to wear glasses as well. And then they would dress up the dogs and cats with glasses and shades. And similarly, they would dress up their children with shades. There are people who can't see anything at all after they take off the glasses. So the rationale of Ananda is that the consciousness or the mind stays within the eye organ. According to this school of thinking, in fact, the way they consider how it works, how the mind works, is that different kinds of faculties, they all have different levels of, they all have different shapes and different ways of perceiving. But when it comes to Chittamatra school or the mind-only school, the way they take it is that the different faculties have the capacity of perceiving. The higher the level of understanding of the Dharma, the different understanding of the faculties. According to the commentary of the ornament of Madhyamika, it explains more in detail. In fact, the eye has the eye faculty or the eye organ and eye consciousness. So the eye organ would perceive the information, and then eye consciousness would then process such information, and then the consciousness will differentiate. But over here, it didn't really differentiate the organ or the faculty and the consciousness. The eye is inside of the eye socket, and the glasses are sitting on the outside of the organ. So Ananda gives such analogy to explain his idea of how the mind stays inside of the eye. Then the Buddha continued to ask, and he said that, as you just said, the mind is hidden in the same way that the eyes are covered by the crystal ball. Lots of the sutras are like this. The Buddha would then repeat such kind of question to make sure that he would understand this very clearly, just like how the Westerners are accustomed to. They would usually clarify the question and then start answering again. In the sutras, in fact, then they would have all different kind of long questions, and then the Buddha, before answering his actual question, the Buddha would first rephrase or repeat the question first, and then the Buddha would answer it, would address the question. As you said, that the eyes are covered by crystal ball, and when one so covers them and sees the mountains and rivers, does one also see the bowl? Does the one also see the crystals? Over here, the bowl, in fact, it's a wrong translation. It should be the eyeglasses. So can you see the glasses? If you were to wear the glasses, of course you can see through the glasses and see the mountains and rivers. But the glasses are covering or sitting in front of their eyes. And then the Buddha asked, then can you see the glasses still? Ananda then replies, saying that, yes, world-honored one can also see the glasses. Ananda answers very quickly, saying that, yes, of course. If one wears the crystal glasses, although it is blocking the eye or organs, but the person could still see what's outside, could also still see the phenomena. Of course, over here it is based on the fact that the glasses are transparent, otherwise you won't be able to see. This is the first reply from Ananda after the question. And then the Buddha continued to say, if your mind is like the crystal glasses, when you see the mountains and rivers, why do you not see your own eyes? If your mind is like the glasses, in this way, then when you see the mountains and rivers, why don't you see your own eyes? Because over here it is based on the contention that the mind is then in the eye organ, and in such a way you should also be able to perceive your own eye. If mind is in your sense organ, such as the eye, then your eye should be able to directly see your eye organ. Then why can't you see it? Why don't you see your own eyes? Over here, the Buddha then questions Ananda from two aspects: if you were to see it, and if you don't see it. So if you do, they should be outside and should not follow your faculty of seeing. Because if you were to be able to see your eye faculty, then it means that the mind is outside of your eye. If the mind could see the eye organ, then it shows that the eye is what you perceive, which would be the object of perceiving. Then in such a way, your eye is no longer performing the function of seeing, rather your mind is seeing. Therefore, it is no longer the organ. It is then perceived as the object that is seen by the mind. In fact, your eyes, if your eyes have such a function of seeing the colors and the shapes and so on. But if the mind could perceive the eye directly, then the mind is seeing directly rather than using the eyes to see, isn't it? So your eye doesn't have any function to it anymore, and it became the object of being seen by the mind. So that's the first fallacy, or the first refutation by the Buddha. And the second one says that if your mind is, if they cannot be seen, if your eyes cannot be seen, how can you say that this knowing mind is hidden in the sense organ? Because if the mind is inside the organ, because mind is luminous and knowing and clear knowing, so this knowing mind is, if it's already hidden in the sense organ but not able to see this organ, then it doesn't make sense, because it is then contradicting, it is in contradiction with one another. Therefore, your contention that knowing mind is hidden in the sense organ is groundless. It is a wrong contention, so the Buddha pointed out. The way the Buddha refuted Ananda was through the two ways. So one is that if the mind is like the crystal glasses, then there are two possible result that comes from such kind of analogy. The first one is that the mind could see the eye, and the second one is the mind cannot see the eye. If the mind could see the eye, then in such a way, the eye no longer has a function of seeing anymore, but it is rather perceived as an object of being seen by the mind. And the second result is that you cannot see the eye. Then in such a way, then the mind lost its knowing and luminous characteristic of knowing. So in such a way, it is then in contradiction of one another. As Ananda stated that if the glasses are like the mind, then once you see through the eyes, once you see through the glasses, you should be able to see the external phenomena. Usually when we talk about faculties, therefore, if Ananda were to then say that the mind is within the sense organ, then that's wrong. I think in the way of the Bodhisattva, it also stated that the mind does not abide in any of the faculties. It does not abide in the skandhas. You cannot find it inside nor outside. You cannot find it anywhere else either. So consciousness does not stay or does not abide with any of the organs or faculties. It does not abide in the skandhas. It does not abide within or outside. And you cannot find it anywhere else either. Previously, we've already studied that you cannot find it inside, you cannot find it outside, you cannot find it in the middle of an organ either. During the part of studying of finding the selflessness of phenomena, in fact, it goes through a similar analogy where you can find it outside, you can find it inside, you cannot find it in the middle, you cannot find it within the organ. The next one, the fourth one, is in fact quite difficult to understand. Therefore, you should use all your wisdom to follow this part of contention. I'll slow down, otherwise I'm afraid that for those of you who listen to Shurangama Sutra for the first time, you will then encounter some difficulties. So, the fourth attempt of searching for the mind. I think this is a rather difficult one to understand. Therefore, I ask of you to use your sharpest wisdom and be prepared to use it. I'm going to drink a little water and I'll continue with it. Just as how we should prepare the horses. Some horses are sharp and some are dull, some are fast and some are slow. So I'm going to see who can get enlightened through this one. Sometimes I feel it's really wonderful to study something that's rather a little bit more difficult, because there are lots of people who are rather quite prideful, and if it was not for some difficult knowledge that they won't be able to understand, then it won't distract their arrogance. Over here, Ananda asked, "World-honored one, I now think of the glasses concealed in the body of the aperture of its surface." So Ananda is very determined to understand for how and where is it the bow is concealed. Over here, it is says that all sentient beings, in fact, it has two parts, because the bowels and all the organs are then concealed in the body, and the apertures are on its surface. For sentient beings, despite human beings or other animals, they have organs inside, and they have different apertures on the outside or on the surface. The organs such as heart and kidney and the spleen and so on, and the bowels such as the intestines. So within the body, in fact, there are different kinds of organs. And outside of the body, or on the surface of the body, there are different kinds of orifice or apertures, as we usually call it, the 7 openings or 7 orifice. Inside the body, there are the viscera and bowels lie inside, and while the orifices are open to the exterior, on the surface and open to the exterior. So there is darkness at the bowels and light at the orifice. Therefore, whatever is hidden inside the body are then in darkness, but whatever is on the surface, on the exterior of the body, then they are in light. So Ananda, first of all, before he presented his argument, he stated that of his understanding of the body first, what is in the dark and what is in the light. And then Ananda continued to say that now as I face the Buddha and open my eyes, I see light, and that is to see outside. Just as when you open your eyes, you can see the teacher, you can see the assembly, and so on. And Ananda opens his eyes, he can see the Tathagata, he can see the assembly, he can see the park, he can see the assembly hall. So Ananda continued to say that when I close my eyes and see darkness, that is to see within. So this is called seeing within. In fact, seeing inside is the contention that the Buddha will refute mostly over here. He did not refute of seeing outside. And then Ananda said that, well, how does that principle sound? How does that idea sound to you? I think Ananda is quite good at posing questions. Rather than, I feel lots of people would not continue to ask questions. They would just say, okay, or yes, and just simply listen blindly without thinking for themselves. So Ananda is more intelligent than we are. And Ananda's idea is that when we close our eyes, we then see the darkness. I think in some ways it probably fits other people's idea as well, that when we close our eyes, we see this darkness. I think the Buddha then refutes in the way that is very similar with the Madhyamika Shinton way of posing questions. And then the Buddha said to Ananda, when you close your eyes and see darkness, does the darkness you experience lie before your eyes? This kind of darkness that you experience at this moment, does it lie before your eyes? In the Tibetan translation, it did not say lie before your eyes. It actually says that did such darkness touch your eye organ or touch your eyes? In some ways, you could explain it, but what it means here is that when you see the eye, when you see the darkness, does the eye perceive the object of darkness? I think this is an easier way of understanding it. According to the Theravada teaching, in fact, the object and the organs do not completely touch one another. But according to Abhidharma, one of the Abhidharma teaching, where it says that some of the object would then touch the organ, the faculty. It could be explained in different ways, because darkness and light could also be explained as tiny particles of darkness and tiny particles of lightness, according to the Theravada tradition in the Abhidharma teaching, in one of the commentary on the Abhidharma. And according to Pramana, then the teaching is a little bit different. Pay attention to the few questions of the Buddha asked. Okay, use your sharp wisdom now. This is important. I think when people watch movies, read different fictions, this is the climax part of all those kind of storylines. Otherwise, you'll get lost. So you have to pay attention over here. And the Buddha says that, does your eyes then perceive the object of darkness? And if it is, if it were within, then if as I said earlier, in fact, according to Abhidharma, the light and the darkness could be considered as a small particle of lightness or darkness. So the Buddha said that if you were to say that darkness is the object of your eye, then the object would be the outside of your body. It would be the object that is to be perceived by your eye organ. Therefore, it must be outside of your body. It would be outside of you. It would be other than you. But then you would call it to be seen within. If it were within, then when you are in a dark room without the light of the sun, the moon, or lamps, then the darkness in the room would constitute your stomach, the three parts of the stomach. In fact, the different organs or viscera and bowels in your body. If you were to say that the darkness became the object that to be perceived by your eye organ, then such kind of darkness also becomes your organ, and it is no other than your organs. It is part of you. In fact, darkness, if it were seen by you, then you think then it could be called as your organs, or the object of your perceiving as well as the capacity of seeing. Did you understand that? That's the first logic link. If it is not before you, it is not the object of your eye. Then how can you see? How can you call it as being seen? Because if you were to see something, then it has to be perceived by your eye and it has to be the opposite of the eye organ, and then you can perceive it, isn't it? It has to be other than your eye organ, and it has to be on the other side for the eye organ to be perceived, just as the west mountain and the east mountain are on the two opposite sides of each other. Then you can call it as the other. So if you do not see the other, is it then being blocked by something else in between? So in such a way, that's the second refutation by the Buddha, that it is not seen. It is not the object of being perceived. The next, the Buddha then continued to refute. Because Ananda thinks that he sees inwardly. So the Buddha then started to refute of the inward seeing. And he said that if you assert that there is an inward seeing that is distinct from seeing outside, the punctuation of the Chinese one should be switched, should be changed. If it is not opposite to your eye, how can there be any seeing? So the Buddha said that if you say that the seeing inwardly is then depart from seeing outside, is distinct from seeing outside, and in that case, when you close your eyes and see darkness, then you would be seeing inside the body, isn't it? So the Buddha then refuted in this way, saying that if you were to say that the commentaries that I read, I feel that they're avoiding this kind of difficult logical questions, and they in fact didn't explain too much in the commentary. But what I found is that they got very concise. Rather, they got really brief when it comes to such kind of difficult logical lines. Anyhow, it says that if you were to see inside the body, therefore, when you open your eyes and see light, why can't you see your own face? So it says that if you cannot see, you can. When Ananda then. Another's contention is that when you look inward, you can see darkness. Then the Buddha asked, if you open your eyes and see light, then why can't you see your own face? Because if once you open your eye organ, you should be able to see your face first. Because if your eye organ could see even the darkness within, then why can't you see the brightness that is your face? Because your face would be the closest one to you. And then the Buddha continued to say that if you cannot see your face, then there can be no seeing within. How can you see the darkness within? It doesn't work that way. If you can see your face, that's the second refutation based on the previous one. It says that if you can see your face, then your mind that knows and understands, and your organs of vision as well must be suspended in space. how can they be part of your body then? How can it be inside your body then? It doesn't work in such a way. So the Buddha then again refuted from the two aspect. The first aspect is from the aspect if you cannot see your face. If you cannot even see your own face when there's light, then how can you say that you can see darkness when your eyes are closed? There's the commentary. In fact, when you say that if you can see your face, then your mind that knows, that understands your organ of vision as well must be suspended in space. Because if you were to see your face, there are two ways of there is a way of looking into the mirror, of course, but that would be only a reflection of your own face. But if your organ could see your face, the organ of eye that sits on your face to see your own face in such a way, then your mind would be suspended somewhere in the space to see and clearly know your face outside of your body. Then the mind cannot be part of your body anymore because it's in the space and perceiving your face. Sometimes the people would say that there are different kinds of out-of-body experience where the consciousness would be half floating in the ceiling and looking at your own face. There are some kind of experiences like that. But in such a way, then your mind is suspended halfway or in the space and perceiving your own body. So, in such a way, then it's separated than your body. And in such a way, if the Tathagata at that time sees your face, wouldn't the Tathagata also be part of your mind? Wouldn't the Tathagata be part of your body? And if you can see your face, then your mind knows and understands your organ of vision as well must be suspended in space. How can they be part of your body? And if they're in space, then they're not part of your body. Otherwise, the Tathagata who now sees your face would be part of your body as well. Master Xixuan then over here made the threefold argument, where then it first says that if your body is, if you could see your own face, then it shows that your mind is then in the space. And then at that time, if the Tathagata in the space will also sees your face, then the Tathagata also be part of your body. Previously, it says that your mind is not within, that you cannot see inwardly. And if you were to be able to see your own face, then it means that your mind is in the space. Then your mind is perceiving or looking at your face just as someone else is looking at you as the object of perception. So in such a way, the Buddha is just like your own body. Then the third one, the third refutation is as in that case, when your eyes perceive something, your body would remain unaware of it. So the fault of not perceiving when your mind is somewhere else and your body is here. Because when your eye could perceive, when your mind could perceive your face, because your mind would be outside in the space, isn't it? Because it's perceiving your face. But at that same time, could you feel your body. So maybe your mind and your eye organ is somewhere floating in the space. And then if you were to press the point and say that the body and the eyes each have an awareness, or can you be aware of such kind of pressing? Could you feel your body? Could you be aware of it? If you were to be able to look at your own face, perceive that, and then at the same time feeling your body being pressed, then you're having two mind streams. That means that you have two consciousness or two minds. Then once you attain enlightenment, you become two Buddhas. Did you understand that? Okay, I'll be very interested in the after-class presentation now, because this part would be very difficult to understand, and I'll particularly ask you to repeat this part. Therefore, your contention that to see darkness inward, it is inward seeing is groundless. It is impossible. So over here, it shows that the mind that resides in the middle of the organ is then impossible and groundless. Just as in the Sixth Platform Sutra, it says that if you do not recognize what the mind is, then you won't be able to receive true and genuine benefit of studying the Dharma. So the genuine nature of mind, if you don't understand it, if you don't grasp it, then it will be very difficult to understand and to continue the study. I read in a book where it says that, in fact, mind, not only it could. I read in a book where it says that we should recognize mind when it is looking at ourselves, and if we do not understand what the nature of mind is, then mind could bring lots of unnecessary sufferings. But for people who recognize the nature of mind, then they can enjoy the freedom and rest at ease at any time. So without knowing what the nature of mind is, maybe mind, it's really nothing, but it brings lots of experience of suffering to you. Therefore, to people who are studying the Dharma, I really hope that you could study and practice the kind of methods to recognize the nature of mind. I think lots of times we would get really distracted to different kinds of trades and skills, such as poetry, such as design, such as architecture, and different knowledges. Of course, it's necessary because we need our trades to make a living. But what's more important is to know the nature of our mind, and we need to know different kinds of trades and methods of recognizing it. In fact, through karma, we could make lots of. In fact, through the energy of power, there are lots of possibilities of fettering yourself. Just as how fools are fettering themselves up from all the different kinds of emotions and afflictions. Just as the story I've heard that in ancient times, a person who's named as Lo Kuang, and he invited his friend to his home, and they were drinking together. And after drinking, the friend exhibited some discomfort and then left Lo Kuang's house and went back home. But after the friend went back home, he got gravely ill. And then Lo Kuang went to see him and asked him what happened. the friend answered that I saw that there was a small snake that sits in the middle of my wine cup, and I carelessly drank it in my stomach, and then I think I'm dying because of that. Then Le Guan went back home and saw that there is a reflection of the arrow on the wall where would reflect like a snake shape. So Le Guan understood that really the friend was really scared of his own imagination. So Le Guan then invited his friend to come to his home, and his friend came, and Le Guan showed him the reflection in his cup. And the friend got really frightened upon seeing another small snake in his wine cup. Le Guan was really smart, and he then took off the arrow from the wall. And then at that moment, the friend understood, oh, it was only a reflection, and it was only his own imagination. I think it really clearly shows that the mind is the one which fetters the people. Our conceptual thoughts, our dualistic thoughts, are the ones that really fetters us, prisons us. Sometimes when we think about this kind of stories, it's very stupid. It's really silly. It is not possible. Why would people get fooled by such kind of reflection and get gravely ill? But when you really contemplate upon such kind of a story, you will be able to understand that in fact the imaginations or the conceptual thoughts of people in fact, it is based on the people's personal emotion and imagination and conceptual thoughts and understanding. Because at that moment, the friend saw that snake. The friend misunderstood that it was a snake and took that very seriously as a snake, and then got gravely ill. A doctor told me that my lung was having some big problem. I had to then go through a surgery right away, and right away I felt that there's a pain in my lung, and then I went to Chengdu, and the doctor, after detailed checkups, and the doctor said there's nothing happening to your lung, and right away I felt that there's no pain around my lung area anymore. I think it's really just all mind. Therefore, we really need to understand the nature of mind and to watch and to see what the true mind is. I feel Vajrayana teaching is much simpler than the Shurangama Sutra. And the Shurangama Sutra's way of finding where the mind is more difficult than the Buddhist logic. I think we'll stop here today.
Sunam dai danche zaba nyan tona nebe dana pashe jang jirga nanche ralon chuba
Chibin zulim jua jolvara shan diba sanje lam Shokjayam jitin dagna kam jigam chad parakir Kayam abshin de daram niravaram Samzop shan chibaram barasan jibshin Shokjagale janamam janyala ba De dagaja chirin yonzu dag parakir Shan chibir shan wan chong shig jarvata Sanji jiji rabda kanvarisho Shokji simchana kanamam janyala ba De dagda melab de varakir do I can jet to jet on Namana, temperature Jarewa, Japeresho, Sanchep Shurbat, and Dab Shura Jam, do I can the Tiwa temperature, Serabakandam Champur Jivana, Startab Dana Raptam Jomvarasho, Jarava Ganji Jism of Jeradeb, Zambu Shilbayon Zobjilijan, Salatamam Jarapa Jamilion Tagapa, Tagata Manyam Jumila Juparasho. Kadang letan lop jana kala jalama tagama ya kanam da doa ganji jana mam chazambar tham chada kadab daki chuftanando te sham bhar shinna rab jana dem shang chibesim nam yam jed ma jer adik pa kanam par jer pa ta te ta mali onzab shang warasho litam nyulmo der jele namalim tul jam jitin do anam zayo Chatar Paramochi Machakbab Shan, Nirta Namkar Topa Metarabshed, Jangam Chundam Shanam Jazamber, Anson Dung Alarabta Javarabshid, Deva Tagalam Doa Kangorajan. Doa tam jalalana pamperabshed, Shanchibab Shurbayon Zubshid Jan, Simjana Dakim Jodam Tamberamji, Zambob Shurba Tana Rabduna Jam, Maom Karabak and Dabshed Parabjur, Dakim Jodam Somberakam Shurba, Titana Tatam Droparasho. Tana Simji Jam, Shurba, Tagadam, Olam Shitabshed, Dagla Pemberam, Dolpo, Jobo, Tagab, Zambu, Shurbarab, Tumbanam, Tetagatang, Tagata, Charparasho, Tetagab, Dagin, Amaya, Yadamarion, Sarji, Jim, Kurvim, Gombo, Namam, Gumsama, Tagta, Dakim, Jaravata, Maon, Karabak, and the Machovar, Tetalayam, Shurba, Chirabja. Garavanam Jetambu Chumzana Jam, Shanchibib Shurpak and then Varabshil, Zambub Shurpanam Burb Joaya, Maom Karabak and Dev Jalabarabja. Stalpatam Chalatayam Koranam, Sunamayashi Taganam Zalani, Tapdan Shirabatam Zanam Tarata, Yundan and Kanjim Zalam Zotajer, Darchi Dana Delanyara Janam De, Jantar Samji, my Sarjanam, Sardi, Winam Jibala, Shanchibib Shalapam Chocham Tavarabja. Tetarmali Tamchila Shosa, Tatsaman Chula, Dir Zaman Salinjalaja. Janam Jamso Tam, Karapa, Jamsur, Chujangarabtamji, Sonchigi and Laga Jamsu, Dakalaji, Jarava, Kanayan, Laganam Dagapam, Doa, and James Samba Chapjanaya, Sardi, Sola, Tagatam, Jiparabja. Take some of Sharpa, Jarava, Tamcha, the Tagam, Kurulu, Saranamabrata, Kuravai, Tetakaya, Soya, Mazalala, blow it of Jim Dagajarabtamji. Maom Karapa, Tamchanam Jibraya, Kachi, Chiki, Dagajam Jibrabja, Kayam Karapa, take some Sarateta. Kachi Chashi Jina Jiparabshed. Tisam Sharba Maya Sangika, Tita Kachi Chilab the Kifta, Tata Tetakan of Shoyala, Jamara Jerpanam Tarat of Jimji. Kaya Tisam Taka Jam Kolapa, Tita Derchitan, Mumbarajaba, Teta Malim Shoganam and Tamchadata, Jarava Taka Janam Kolamji. Kaya Mabshin and Jitin and Dumanam, Shanchiverim, Perim Sanjam Korolo. Yang and the pair of the Zentaraton, Gombo Kanji, Tonta, Damsha, condemn your weaves and Chilaton, Namada, can near go your tapert of Dagatan, and the Yundan of Sherbert or Namada. Can name game him so namat of Dagadam, Chabami, Paratirpa, Yashi, to Bashira, but have done the of Dagagim, Shanjabaton, Namayan Tagadaparabset, Regine Donamayon, Dagapshed Jam, New Monton, Namakandam, Jumberabshed, that jet on Namato Miller Abshed Jam, Zombo, Sherbert on Zoparabja. Janam Jamzo, number of Shirajam, Simchina Jamso, Tagana, number Durum, Chunama Jamso, Rapton, Tom Shirajam, Nishi Jamso, Rap the Topper of Shit, Shapa Jamso, number of Shirajam, Mulama Jamso, Yonso, Topper of Shit, Sardi Jamso, Rapton, Chub Shirajam, Karaba Jamso, Mucho, Chadapar of Ja. Kaya di sama shakba jarwa yab shang chib shirba mon lam shitanam zambo shirbi shang chib sang jine te kanam dagi mali zoparabje jarwa ganji ti chata wa pa kang go mon kan dab zam jib sham ki ba de dam song par jab shir tham chadarab tab ngo li dang dang yir janam daga jam shurbanam daga janam yon daba ngo ab zambum ki bam chendawa tem darab daga jang de dam song par sho kane gi wa zambu jab shiram jam khola jin molam jal parab ja ma on kala pa kan de ma chor te shawa mali zo parab ja shpa tagna sayu da ma jir ji yun nam jang sab zo me par sho shpa mele palan ne ja te tagam charpa tham chalam chalavarabja nam kim thar thi chirpa chazambar sim chana malim thaya dev janante chatamale dam nyumom thachirpa daggam olaman thaya te zam Kayam shukji janam thai param chanam jandi jalvanam la phal thadam yab devam chagnam jan janga demir kar param paravavi kangi ngova jerpund thunim shangchabam chukji suram moshang lanchi zamyan talpa jerpa nam sonam tambam chaktam dam jeraro kangi zamshid molam da tapi tin ngan son tham jerpa varam jer tin chokpo ngan bar pavayan Deyan dem yerim thong te taga nyal parav nyal devarim so mzim daryan te taga leg para on kandab zambo te on chandavar te taga rampur matto divshinam gir chammilenga bo taga dibana man kang mashi wangi shi pataga te zambo shurban dabjadana yirta mali on so shavaram gir yeshi dana zitam zannam dari ta kataga nam dan baram gir data martaga mambu te mathab jitin Sambo Kanam Chuparamgir, Shanchibisha Wanjong the Timirim Do, Sony Sim Chanam Hamshire, Tim Dirty, Shanchibisar Jim Korlor at the Kor, the Namade Dam Jipa Tamchalamtal. I am Zambo Shipim, Olamandam, Chawatan, Tuntamelonaya, the number Mamba, Son Jim Chenam, Shanchibin Chola, Sumya Mapshitu, Jam Hodawa, Chitterim Kimbada, Kanda Zambo, Division and they can get the whole shirgir. Tism Shabba Jervatam Jim, Moa Kalam Chodam about Dev, Daka gave us a the Kananja, Zombo Jubsharaptam or Abja, Daganam Chevim, Deep Shirajapana, Japatam Jadatanam Sharapsatim, Monsamana, I'm time, Tim Tony, Deva Janjes on the Rabdamdo. Tersoni na mulam da tagajam tam chalamalim muntam jirvarasho te dagamali dagi osavka jitan chatra simchanam pambarja jalava jem karazan jaga tir pamotam bashandam zilishi nawam thai jervim monsamanda daki tirthavsho Tirnav dagi lontanarab tuvni chadpamam bom shivam tarjai vloye tup chip shokjanam saya simchanam la pamba mambobja zambub shib mulum dombaya giwa chong zalab daki chap sakapa tenam dova mulum giwa nam kachi chigi tham chalam jarvarasho kayam zambub shibandam ngubim sunam thai tamba kantovdi Roab dem galam chavarab shawanam oda khagmi the pani rabat hoparasho malam jarabun the tagam chokkan sum thaim ruwa kanla pham shilja kandab zambo jambu jon travate nan soni namamali stonvara sanjir kasamamib shanlavadam chunilamam garadim bab shanlavadam Gimdanam of Shalam Dambub Shalabati, Chataram Goa, Molam and Japarasho. Taniata Panzan and Jaya, Awam Budana, Zohai, Bamidi, Durji, Dunjum, Jalapanam, Revelera, Balamba, Karamanto, Ripper, what Jim, she made a pencil, Jabla, Sorovan, David the Gomb, Shalavayan Lazy. Kiyana chidam deeper shinji lo om sorte tong de me rang zalang ga me la da han de ru kim zi ban bam jo sa sam jer wa jam zum chen ni men me le jam zra na wa nyam da gam jer ta pe yi shi na wa am chok zo de jang so shang ha mo ji pe nyam jer thong dong ki ji zin ma la so ra wan de ka chi man jer dur ji shi sar tan chen nim za bim shok jiang kor lo chap nim jelam chen yan tam si ga sang mai tam de ban de rang ta chong jer ji cham ni jer vi thip che da zam mot ta dan tam chong jam su nim thi to ba yo me la la sam dim bu rim mul do to nan je pa gim san bar cher chi la pa sam dan ngar me zam ba yan de pa so ji nim der yong ga jan ta ta sen la je ba se vi to dam di var thab tanam shagam dar di pa cha shi sho
这样啊，今天在。